hearing is for the public comments on rezoning request identified as docket CZ 2026 through 001 through CZ 2026-004. And before going any farther, I would like for our chairman of council, if you would, lead us in a word of prayer.
Absolutely. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day, another day in Greenville County to do the people's work. Pray that you be with the meeting and all the items that we have. Help us to keep our focus and our heads straight and do the best we can for our citizens. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. County council members present tonight are
Kelly Long, District 18.
Benton Blunt, District 19.
Steve Shaw, 20.
Frank Farmer, District 22.
Rick Bradley, County Council, District 26.
Liz Seaman, District 24.
Ennis Fant, District 25.
Gary Collins, 27.
The planning commissioners available to view tonight's live stream of this meeting are Steve Bickle, Chair, Kenneth Mattis-Sevick, John Holland, Deborah Medding, Corey Pelham, Janelle Phillips, Frank Hammond, and Denise Franklin. Also representing County Council are Joshua Henderson, Deborah Carlisle, and Todd Baxley. Tonight's hearings was advertised in the Greenville Journal. In addition to the advertisement, public notice signs were posted on the properties and detailed information was available on the internet. In order to properly study all comments and give them due consideration, the hearing is being recorded as a matter of record. The procedure for hearing each case is as follows. Some summary information about each case will be presented by staff. The applicant or his or her representative, anyone in favor of the rezoning request will be given an opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Those opposing the rezoning request will also be given an opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Council will not allow rebuttals from opposing sides. The Greenville County Planning Commission will make a recommendation on each case based on staff analysis and on the regular meeting in January 28, 2026. The Planning Commission analysis and recommendations along with comments made at tonight's public hearing will be discussed by County Council Planning and Development Committee February 2nd, 2026. At that time, the committee will prepare the recommendations to the County Council. Additional written comments by citizens may be submitted to the Planning and Zoning Office. Since passage of any zoning change will require 3 readings by County Council, a request may be denied on second reading. Tentative dates for reading for tonight's request are as follows. First reading, January 20th. Second reading, February 17th. Third reading, March 3rd, all of 2026. To assist Greenville County in reducing roadside litter, applicants should remove the public hearing notice from their property within the next 5 days. At this time, I will ask the staff of the Department of Zoning Administration to provide us with some instructions regarding tonight's meeting and then present the first case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. Before I get started real quick, I do want to announce that we do have one additional person I left off of the sheet that you just read. This is Angel. She is in our zoning department. You'll see her face. She'll be joining Todd doing some presentations here during the public hearing and stuff. So I just want to welcome her. She's been with us for a few weeks now. So just look forward to having her on staff. So
welcome.
With that said, tonight's public hearing is for informational purposes only and to provide all interested parties an opportunity to speak. No votes or recommendations will be made at this meeting. This meeting is the beginning of an approximately 3-month-long process. Recommendations and votes will be made on the days provided by the chairman. All future meetings are open to the public and you're encouraged to attend. Sign up is not required to speak at tonight's public hearing. In the event the Planning and Development Committee refers a docket back to the Planning Commission for additional public comment, or the Planning Commission recalls a docket, another opportunity will be afforded to speak for those who use the sign-up sheet located in the rear of the room. Please be aware this is only for those persons interested in becoming a party of interest in the event a docket is referred back to or recalled by the Planning Commission for additional public comment. As always, you may submit any letters, petitions, or similar information to the Office of the Zoning Administrator, Clerk to Council, or directly to council members at any time. Todd?
The first docket tonight is CZ-2026-001. The property is located at 506 and 508 South Buncombe Road and 1710 Hood Road in Greer. The applicant is Gregory Ashmore of SR Mulch and Grinding, Inc. for Etowah LLC. The 6.18 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.27 miles northwest of the intersection of South Buncombe Road and Brushy Creek Road, and currently contains an office and vacant commercial. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. The subject property outlined here is zoned S1 Services District. The request is for I1 Industrial District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is a recycling processing center. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his representative here? If you would come give us your name and address, please, for the record.
Okay. My name is Greg Ashmore. I'm representing SR Mulch and Grinding. Our office address is 1710 Hood Road, Greer, 29651. I'm here tonight, like I say, to represent SR Mulch, which is a green waste recycling center, and we are located. Our main yard is what you see to the left, and it is zoned I1, and we are trying to get our other acreage zoned the same for trying to be proactive in future needs of like a new maintenance facility, and so we'll be prepared for the future, and so we can continue serving our county and trying to keep this material, out of our landfills and illegal dumping areas and stuff. So,
Any questions for applicant? Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Any in favor? Do we have any speaking against this application? Anyone? Okay, thank you. We'll move to the next docket, please.
The next docket is CZ-2026-002. The property is located at 105 Pebble Creek Drive and Kendall Way in Taylors. The applicant is Sergey Tushko of Green City Homes for Stone Ridge Golf LLC. The 3-acre subject property consists of a portion of one parcel and is located approximately 0.28 miles northwest of the intersection of Pebble Creek Drive and Stallings Road, and currently contains sport courts, a clubhouse, and parking areas. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned PD, Plan Development District. The request is for PDMC, Plan Development District major change. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family attached or multifamily residential. The applicant is proposing to reallocate 3 acres of land within the PD from community recreation to 1.8 acres of single-family attached or multifamily residential units and 1.2 acres of passive recreation space. Within the residential area, there would be a maximum of 24 units, with each unit being a maximum of 2,000 square feet in size, with a maximum 45-foot height. Units will be constructed in a townhome style with a variety of materials and no more than 3 units attached per row. A shared driveway may be shared by up to 3 units and 2 parking spaces provided per unit with a minimum of 36 parking spaces. The applicant is proposing a 30-foot setback along Pebble Creek Drive and Kendall Way with a canopy street tree placed every 40 feet of road frontage. 200 square feet of additional recreation area will be provided per unit. Signage will be compatible with the architecture of proposed buildings with a maximum height of 6 feet and a maximum width of 10 feet. Site lighting will be a maximum of 16 feet in height with full cutoff fixtures. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her representative here? If you'll come and give us your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Hello, my name is Sergey Tushko. I'm a Green City representative, and the address is 320 Business Parkway, Greer. And I'm here to propose this change. And do we have a PowerPoint? Okay, yeah. So one of the things that we were here last time, we got denied, and we listened to the community, we heard the concerns, so we come back and we went to redesign, and we just decided to change the tennis courts that ran down, really in a bad shape, so we decided to go ahead and try to put the 24 homes there, luxurious townhomes, no longer pursuing the 80-something units, so we went smaller. So I just wanted to have that opportunity to represent me also. And we have a couple of slides as we can see it. If we can go to the next slide. So we have total approved in PD, 922 approved, and now built 352. So we have quite an amount left to build. So this is why we went for that type of home. We see over grand plan of things. We have a reputation already. We've been here for a couple of years. We built a couple subdivisions out. We have 2 houses that are under contract, and one of them gonna move in February. And those are luxurious homes. And my vision for Pebble Creek is to revive it by bringing new type of people, good quality people, and existing homes there are at million point mark. And the ones that we're providing here, it's gonna be, I talked to some people and they wanted to sell their homes behind our existing homes. And I told them, hey, do not sell it yet until we put it market so that the value of your home can go higher. And they're like, okay, I educate them. And after educating, there's like, is there anything that we actually can move in because our houses are too big and we live alone? And I was like, that's my purpose, that's my goal, is to build those smaller homes that has zero maintenance and it keeps them local in community, that have still same amenities, same friends, same connectivity. And so kind of that's my goal and vision for the public and how we can revive this area for them. And I think I am a very good resident. I have over 50 acres in that area. So I ask for representation also on this end and hear my vision for this. As I said, I talked to multiple people already. Some of them like it, some of them don't for multiple reasons, but I feel like walking by those rundown tennis courts is not a best sight. After we're done and finished, we're gonna have those walkways that is gonna be really nice, similar to ones that we did already on the other subdivisions. And we have cameras, security cameras, and we see how often people actually use those walking with the dogs and children riding a bicycle. So it makes me feel very happy, and I feel like we're doing a good job, in my opinion. But yeah, so this is something that I presented to you guys. We have a couple more slides, if you can slide it, one more. So this is the existing. I took pictures of what's going on there, and that's something that I think we need to fix it and make it much more presentable, create smaller opportunities for people who can be local, stay local, but don't have to have that much maintenance compared to what they have now.
Any questions for the applicant?
Yes. The units that you're proposing, they can't, they're more than one story, right?
So we're gonna have 2 more story, master and main.
I'm sorry.
Master and main.
Stories, though.
Yeah, 2 stories with the master and main.
Okay. Because downsizers
Yeah.
need 1 story.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was the only question. Thanks.
Yeah, we talk to people, and the main deal is to have something master and main. So anybody who's younger, they want to stay with them, they can live upstairs.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else in favor?
Stephanie Gates, Site Design Inc., 225 Rocky Creek Road. I'm the engineer, so if you had any more technical questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And I do want to just point out that we did go with the 3 attached to give the same size as the single-family homes that brings a better point. So the idea with that, while they are townhomes, we would try to get them the same size as a single-family home, even though there's a smaller amount of footage. But it would be 2 stories. But the way the elevation is going down, the 2 stories will not feel as tall as the ones across the street. So.
I have a question, if you don't mind. Yes, sir. Forgive me, Councilman Collins.
Isn't there a lot of construction going on out there now?
There's construction in the area, yes, sir.
Okay, because I know I golf out there, and I do drive by that area, and it is an eyesore. But to add something more than what's already that's going on out there, I mean, the blasting. Have you talked to any residents over there about additional construction and the traffic flow? I mean, have you been through there driving in at 3 in the afternoon?
Yeah, I've been there many times as part of the construction of some of those subdivisions.
So you said the
Sergi
traffic?
Sergi has been very well in touch with the neighbors, and I can let him speak to that if you want to
Okay.
have more.
And you sit by the
information from him.
trains for about 45 minutes an hour? Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah, I'm there.
And I'm not being negative, I'm just
sorry.
asking because I know when I golf through there, it's like,
Yeah.
my tee time's at so-so.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting in traffic.
Totally fine, totally fine. As I said, I'm there almost every other day. I talk to a lot of neighbors. One of the things, as I said, I feel like if I'm doing something to do it better. So we had those rundown course that was closed down and sold to us. We made it better. Now we have turn lane. We have really nice high-end homes. And yes, we do have that traffic.
Well, let me ask you, because I had a couple in my area, and I spent like 2 days, and I hit like 96 homes.
Yeah.
And I did a survey, and I asked them to submit that result to me. Is that anything that you do or have done, or?
So I do a lot of walking, I do a lot of meeting with people. We had, that's when we had the 81 homes planned, and we had this meeting, and we're like, okay, we want that driving range to be there. And we went back to the drawing board, it's like, okay, what can we do with what we have? And the idea was, look at this tennis courts, they're in a horrible shape. So is that something we can do? And we looked, we talked, and one of the, as I said, some of the members of like you build into those $1 million homes, I don't want to live there. I don't need something big like that. What can you do? That's when, as I said, as a whole package, we have another subdivision, 2 more subdivisions that are up.
Residential homes where people live, or are they meant to be rental, or is there no differentiation?
So our intent to have for sale product, so they can buy it. Yeah.
Can I speak to the technical part of that? Is in
Yes.
the statement of intent, we left it open to be multifamily or for sale to be owned by the owner. And the purpose of that was, how is the market going to be driven at the time that this goes under construction? So it leaves them a little bit of flexibility. Under the existing PD, the ordinance did allow, it grouped those kind of together. It grouped condos and townhomes and clusters, well, it actually grouped condos separately, but it grouped cluster developed subdivisions and townhomes under kind of the same degree, but it didn't say whether they were multifamily or for owner. And in my opinion, you shouldn't have to know whether that person's a homeowner or not. And that gives the ability for them to live in the same style, the same level of home, and whether they're a homeowner or a renter.
I think it greatly impacts the area more if it's rental property, though. It can impact values and the unknown.
Yeah.
So,
So like he said, the intent is to be for sale, but we did want to leave it open in case rental was the market that it
Okay.
needed to be driven.
all right.
Back to that picture, the neighborhood is basically single-family. How many, if you were to go single-family homes, typical of that neighborhood, was that like 6, 7 homes?
It's about 9-ish.
Okay. Is there any market for that, or why would you not put single-family?
So for me, we have already single families in another subdivisions. And as I said, like I'm trying to help those people that don't want to have bigger lots. They want to have something smaller with less as minimum maintenance possible.
Could you, what if you had 9 one-story, 10 one-story downsizer home? Downsizers cannot go upstairs.
Right,
You know,
right,
They
right.
move out of their house and they don't want any 2-story. So then you're automatically, it's not downsizers.
For us, this is the best scenario that we can work with.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The 81's not, you know, it's not working, but that's something that works for us.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
All right.
We have anyone else speak in favor of this? Come up and give you a name and address for the record, please.
My name is Cheney DeGroot. I am a Greenville County resident at 121 Lakeside Drive in Pebble Creek. We just moved here from Texas, so meeting Sergey and learning about these homes, because I feel like in 10 years, we're going to be in one of those homes that are on the other side of my fence. I had the pleasure of meeting him and walking through these homes. And I just want to say that as a resident who lives here, not on behalf of the developer or the county, I've reviewed the plans, I've walked the site, and I have a lot of the same concerns you have, especially with Railroad, because I'm in Railroad. We have two railroads that are splitting, so whether the traffic is affected by the 21 condos going in there or just 5 o'clock traffic, I haven't seen the difference yet, because it's a lot of trains coming through, especially on Saturday. There's about 5 from midnight to 7 a.m. I have not lived here 30 or 40 years like a lot of you have. But if I had, I would be worried about the erosion, the runoff, the traffic, the overcrowding. A couple of years ago in my town in Texas, I was on the other side fighting high density. But this, I know what you're saying about downsizing, but to be a grandparent and have your kids still be able to come, and they have the upstairs, their own private, you're still a master on the main. One of the things that we had a problem with moving here was the limited availability of master on the main homes. So I think this offers a good solution for people that want to live on the main floor and not have to climb stairs, but still have the availability of their family. The homes behind me, I will have to say, are of very high quality. So that was another thing that was pressing on us when we were looking at this home in Pebble Creek, was that it would be compromised if those homes weren't up to snuff. So y'all know this land better than anybody, but I feel like what I have seen so far in Etna Springs and the plans for this development maintain or exceed some of our existing standards there in Pebble Creek. I mean, these are beautiful homes. But again, I'm a big believer in what I can see. I've always said that the real truth is what people show you and not what they say. People can say anything, but they will always eventually show you who they are. And from what I've seen, there was a bridge, a beautiful bridge built over this drainage area that didn't have to be built. He could have left it. There was no code that said it had to be covered up. But now, aesthetically, this place has exceeded expectations. There's a $25,000 retaining wall that is beautiful, that didn't have to be there, didn't have to look like that. But again, they exceeded expectations. And now from 71 to 24 townhomes, in order to accommodate the citizens' concern with the overcrowding, I said these changes were made directly because of resident feedback. And they're obviously listening. So it's not that, the developer's just bullying through. He has developed a beautiful area behind us that we are excited for, because now our home values, although we paid COVID prices, the home values of the people that have been there 20 or 30 years have almost quadrupled. And he's sustaining those values. So I've learned that secrecy looks like wrongdoing, even when it's not, but what I've seen here is just the opposite. There's changes made in public on the record at his expense. I know that a lot of residents don't come to these meetings, but they can see them, and they can see them on YouTube. But I feel like this is only good for Pebble Creek and lifting the values and sustaining those values, because now we have an even bigger reach of the community. You don't have to just move in and then leave when you're no longer going upstairs. You have every asset of living available in that area. That is a great community, which is why we picked it when we came back. I'm originally from Gray Court, South Carolina. Pebble Creek was the star 35 years ago. So I think it's going to be again. And that's just, my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any opposing? We have a total of 10 minutes, so if you want to come up and give us your name and your address and for the record.
Okay, my name is Brenda Buchek. I live at 200 Barrel Way in Taylors. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the residents who oppose this zoning change. This request benefits exactly two parties, the property owner and the developer. It does not benefit the 1,200 households who already live, pay taxes, and vote in Pebble Creek. When Pebble Creek was created 50 years ago, the golf course land was intentionally designed as open space. Its purpose was to provide open space and a place for the Mountain Creek floodwaters to go. Building on this land directly contradicts the original PD, the county's flood protection goals, and the community's long-standing expectations. And while this proposal is for 24 units, the developer has made it clear that that's not the end. Green City used a traffic study from September of 21 during the tail end of COVID shutdowns. That data does not reflect today's reality. Between 2018 and 2024, 881 new homes were approved in this area, adding more than 5,000 daily trips to roads that are already over capacity. Stallings Road carries 13,200 cars per day, far above the recommended 6,000 to 10,000 for a two-lane road. Where will these, I don't understand where the entrance is to this development. If it's Kindland Way, that's a 2/10 of a mile local road with 20 homes on it. This project will increase daily trips more than 50%. The alternative appears to be multiple new entrances along Pebble Creek Drive, right next to the golf course entrance, the pool, and Kindland Way. That cluster of cars, golf carts, and pedestrians, especially during swim meets, is a serious safety concern. I refer you to the Enabling Act, State Enabling Act, and my neighbor Matt will speak more to that. This proposal meets none of those standards. Dropping attached condos into the middle of this established community is inconsistent with density, design, and character. Leasing, as noted on the drawing, that these would be leased condos, presents its own set of issues. There has been no meeting with the surrounding community. The amenities the developer references, golf range, restaurant, pool, are privately owned and already open to the public. They are not benefits created by this project. The proposed walking path sits directly between the condos and the driving range with no buffer. It is unlikely to be used by anyone beyond the immediate 20 homes on Kindland Way. I'm surprised to hear there are 2 parking places per unit because that's not what was in the letter of intent, and some will be remote to the buildings. Overflow parking will inevitably spill over onto Pebble Creek Drive and Kindland Way, creating dangerous conditions. Creating a brand-new HOA in the middle of one of the largest existing HOAs in Pebble Creek makes little sense. That new HOA will own the development and is under no obligation to allow existing residents to access the property. For years, residents have had to fight off repeated attempts to increase density on land that was never meant to be developed. Pebble Creek is full. This is the golf course we're talking about. This proposal threatens safety, traffic flow, flood protection, community character, and the intent of the original PD. Please put an end to this yearly battle, protect the 50-year-old community, and deny this zoning change. Thank you.
Name and address for the record.
Thank you, Brenda. Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you. My name is Tom Jackson. I'm a golf course architect and land planner with over 60 years of experience. And I planned and designed all of the 36 holes and developments in Pebble Creek. My wife and I live at 126 Pebble Creek Drive, directly across from this development. We built our house in 1978, and we have lived there ever since, raised a family there, and have paid taxes to the county for the luxury of living in this private community. In 1972, a planned development for PC Associates was approved by County Council for Phase 1 of Pebble Creek that included an 18-hole golf course, driving range, clubhouse, swimming pool, tennis courts, and a single-family residential subdivision consisting of 1 plus or minus acres lots, all for single-family homes. The PD that was approved did not include anything for multifamily housing or any other type housing other than single family. Today, 54 years later, our subdivision is fully developed and is a beautiful residential community, and we want to keep it that way. What we don't need is a multifamily townhouse development along our heavily traveled Pebble Creek Drive, which I will mention is a cut-through from State Park Road to Stallings Road. It's not just a residential street, it's become a public street. We don't need any more housing or any more cars. This development would also destroy the tennis court footprint. That would eliminate the possibility for future rehabilitation of this facility for our community and the surrounding area. It has been the choice of the existing owner of the club to disregard and do away with providing tennis facilities, which were originally approved and have been used for over 50 years within Pebble Creek development. We have a number of concerns other than the increase in traffic. The existing homeowners along Pebble Creek Drive are also concerned about the possible disruption of our utility services. Water, power, natural gas, phone, etc., for extended periods of time during the possible grading operations. These services are located along Pebble Creek Drive on the proposed development site. There has to be some grading done there in order to get off of Pebble Creek Drive and get to the units. Are they going to disturb, break, cut all of these services for us? How long are we going to put up with it? Why do we have to put up with it? It's been there for 50 years and it's served us well. So we really want to point that out, that this is something that needs to be considered if and when this plan might be approved, that it's going to have to be dealt with by Greenville County. I want to point out something about this site plan. It's very pretty. It's nice and green. It looks flat. This property is not flat by any means. the area where the homes are at least 10, 15 to 20 feet below Pebble Creek Road driving. How are these people going to get driveways in? How are they going to maintain drainage that is properly done? Where are retention basins going to be done? How are they going to put sewer in? The only sewer line that they can tap into runs down south, or I'm going to talk south with my hand, of that white line that runs through there, which is a perennial stream. But there's a sewer line that runs right through the golf course. That's their only opportunity to tap in. So they're also going to disturb the golf course. We're also concerned about retention basins. They don't show anything like that in here. Of course, this is simply a presentation. It does not go into detail for construction.
Mr. Chair.
As you well know, Mountain Creek has a lot of problems with regard to flooding.
Mr. Chairman, that's time.
The increased roofs, driveways, patios, anything that's going to disturb the existing area, which now absorbs most of the runoff, is going to be concentrated into a catch basin somewhere. Where are they? How big is it? Is any of that going to impact the floodway of Mountain Creek? I remind everybody about fall a year ago. There was a storm that came through here called Helene. I think we all had an experience with that. That whole area, including the driving range, flooded during that period down near the T, which is to the right of the drawing that you're looking at. This is something that really needs to be considered by the county. Also, on Pebble Creek Drive, there is a culvert that runs through the tennis courts that takes the drainage from Pebble Creek Drive into a pipe that runs through the driving range. They need to make provisions for that so it's not disturbed.
Sir, we have your allotted time is up, so
Okay.
we'll need to move forward.
Well, everybody else seems, all right, thank you very much. Can I make one more comment?
Yes, sir.
This is a continuing effort by Stone Ridge Golf LLC and Green City to destroy the PD that is Pebble Creek community. This is a bad idea, and I ask all of you, please, to vote no for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We will move forward.
Mr. Chairman, before, I hate to interrupt, can we just get a stand-up of for and against so we can do a count for the record?
Which first? Anyone in favor of the development, please stand. Okay. Anyone in opposition, please stand.
There'll be more here, but there's an HOA meeting today, but there'll be more here. We don't have any more time?
Todd, how many?
Is that?
How many?
I
have
got
any more
56
time?
approximately. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, each side has been allotted to 10 minutes, so we'll move on to the next docket.
Mr. Chairman, I will just say the opposition did go a minute 30 over, if you wish to extend that to support.
So the opposition was over a minute,
Minute 30.
so we owe those four a minute. Y'all have anything to say for a minute and what?
Minute and 30.
You got a minute 30.
Once again, thank you guys for all your concerns. We always like to listen, go back to the drawing board and fix it. As of right now, there's the tennis courts and the water right now. The existing tennis courts are much bigger than the the footprint gonna be for this townhome. So runoffs is gonna be actually less of that. Of course, we'll go through engineer and make sure the water treatment is gonna be towards the standards of Greenville County. I'm pretty sure the Planning Commission not gonna let us through. But as I said, I'm trying to bring a new vibe, not new place, new blood into this place, into the public community, so they can have I feel like it has a lot of potential. It can grow more, and there's a lot of people that don't want to come out and speak out again for it because of the neighbors and the connections that they have. But I already have a couple people that are willing to buy from local people, willing to buy those townhomes. So, and I mean, as I said, those driveways, the beauty of a grading, yes, there will be a temporary disruption for the services and all things that needs to be done, but I do love those downhill deals. That means that we can build up the house that's gonna look like a one-story, and actually there's gonna be walkout basement over there. So I like that design even more than just building it up high.
Thank you, sir. Time's up.
Can I, since he brought up the tennis courts.
No, we got, y'all had a minute 30 over, so we gave them that, so you had approximately the same time. So we'll move on to the next docket.
Was the count, did you say how many, 50-something, or?
For the count?
Yes.
It was roughly 56.
Okay, I seem to have counted about 75 to 3 or so.
Okay. I'd be happy to recount, trust me.
And we got 73 up here, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all are at a higher angle.
Yeah,
I'll trust you, honestly.
All right, let's move on to the next docket, please.
Okay. The next docket is CZ-2026-003. The property is located at 333 Gibson Drive in Greenville. The applicant is Michael Fernandez of Cardinal Capital Group
And we moved
Investment
on to the
Group.
next docket.
I beg your pardon?
We have moved on to the next docket.
I know, but I spoke to a county council person and asked if we ran over time since I served in your capacity. I really would like to address this, but I understand if you cannot. But I guess out of some kind of privilege for service, I really would like to speak to this. There's several things that have not been mentioned among those people that really need to just be, one or two sentences.
Mr. Chairman, please encourage all these folks to email us too.
Yeah,
that's the best way that we can all get your
We're going to move on to the next docket. You can email us. We all have email addresses. You can call us, but we're moving on to the next docket.
Thank you. And I will do that. And before I move on, thank you for your service. I really do appreciate you being here, and I will email you.
Thank you.
And for those of you who don't have a recording that says my recording is going to be full, and sure enough, it was.
Mine is not full, I assure you.
But thank you, and appreciate you, and look forward to talking with you, and thank you so much for all you do for Greenville County.
Tell us your name so we know who to look for a call from.
It's not easy, and I understand.
Please give us your name so we know who we're looking.
Yeah, sure. My name is Gail.
Gail, okay.
Gail, Gale Crawford.
Give us a call, give us a text,
And
give us an email.
Liz has taken very good care of my district.
Good.
Appreciate you, Enos, Mr. Blount, the folks that I know personally. And Steve, I look forward to meeting you and working with you. And for other you ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure now that I'm back in Greenville, I'll be here again at some point. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Be safe. Okay.
So the next docket is CZ-2026-003. The property is located at 333 Gibson Drive in Greenville. The applicant is Michael Fernandez of Cardinal Capital Investment Group, LLC, for Hounds Bray, LLC. The 66.12 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.77 miles northeast of the intersection of White Horse Road, Highway 25, and Old White Horse Road, and currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned RS, Residential Suburban District. The request is for R15, Single Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is a single-family residential development. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, before we move on, just want for the record, let it be known that Councilman Alan Mitchell is here. All right. Is the applicant or his representative here? If they would, come, name and address, because I've already forgot.
Stephanie Gates, 225 Rocky Creek Road, with site design. I'm the civil engineer in the project. The developer was not able to make it tonight, so I'm here representing the developer. This is an currently zoned RS, and when we went to go look at doing a septic subdivision, you probably are aware that part of doing a septic subdivision, you have to go to REWA and Metro Connects to get approval for a septic subdivision. We had a septic subdivision design and went to get that approval and were denied because there is sewer located immediately adjacent to this site. So therefore, the developer has been working with where the sewer is located and the owner of the property where the sewer is located to obtain an easement for the sewer line. And with the cost to extend the sewer onto the site, he was needing to get some more units onto the property. It's not a lot more, but we were looking at 65 septic units, and it's going to be somewhere south of 100 sewer units. But we have to get through the rezoning first. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Chairman Blunt?
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've just asked a simple question on this one just because I've had similar rezoning requests on Gibson. But obviously we'll be interested to find out more as we go through the process about the road width and traffic and all those kind of things. But would you be willing to, because I know this is going to be requested before I even get the first phone call, to meet with community members about this in that area?
Yeah, I believe the developer will be willing to hold some kind of meeting. And as far as traffic goes, this is probably going to meet the threshold to need a traffic study and all that kind of stuff when we get to the development portion of this. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions for this applicant? Any? All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this applicant? Okay, anyone opposed? Anyone speak opposed to this? Anyone? Seeing none, let's move to the next docket, please.
It is CZ-2026-004. The property is located at 2706 White Horse Road in Greenville. The applicant is Samuel Hamburger of Parliament Companies, LLC for 2706 White Horse, LLC. The 11.36 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.12 miles north of the intersection of White Horse Road, Highway 25, and Interstate 185, and currently contains warehousing and distribution. This is the this is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is Zone C2 Commercial District. The request is for I1 Industrial District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is warehousing and manufacturing. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Is the applicant here or his representative? If you would come and give us your name and address for the record and your plans for this site.
Thank you all for your time tonight. My name is Sam Hamburger, and I represent the applicant 2706 White Horse LLC. And that is also our address, 2706 White Horse Road in Greenville, South Carolina, 29611. For those not aware, on October 8th, 2025, we applied for and were granted a setback variance on this property by the BZA. And with that variance in place, the property is now in compliance and eligible for rezoning. We're here today to request that 2706 Whitehorse Road be rezoned from C2 Commercial to I1 Industrial. Our application was submitted on December 3rd, 2025, along with a detailed explanation of our request. We have a few hard copies of this supplemental explanation with exhibits if anyone would like an extra copy. Our rezoning hearing sign was also posted on December 18th, 2025, and will be taken down within 5 days of this hearing. Evidence of our sign posting was also provided to the administrative staff within the zoning department. Some quick context on this property. In the late 1990s, early 2000s, the current building on the property was constructed and originally utilized by Greenville County as a large indoor-outdoor music venue as part of the fairgrounds. Our parcel and the adjacent parcels were previously part of one approximately 35-acre parcel as recently as 2002. In 2002, the 35-acre parcel was primarily divided into a 22-acre parcel, which is now the Whitehorse Flea Market, and an 11-acre parcel, which is our property, 2706 Whitehorse Road. Our understanding is that the C2 zoning designation has been in place since or before that time. Starting in 2011, 15 years ago, Diamond Hill Plywood, a large national construction supplier, occupied the property and used it for warehousing, distribution, and industrial outdoor storage. The applicant, 2706 Whitehorse LLC, acquired the property in November 2024, and Diamond Hill Plywood continued their occupancy through the beginning of summer 2025. We have been marketing the property for lease since Diamond Hill Plywood vacated. Again, our application is to rezone the property from C2 to I1 in order to bring the property's zoning into alignment with its longstanding industrial configuration and historic use, its physical characteristics, which lend themselves to industrial operations, and the surrounding land use pattern in this established industrial corridor. In addition, the requested rezoning will facilitate reinvestment and job creation in a location that already functions as part of a rail-served industrial district by enabling the property to accommodate industrial users consistent with I1 properties in close proximity. The property contains an approximately 89,000 square foot pre-engineered metal warehouse building and about 5 acres of industrial outdoor storage space. As mentioned previously, for the last 15 years, the property was operated as an industrial distribution facility and occupied by a construction supplier. Key industrial features of the property include 3 oversized drive-in doors and 3 dock-high doors to support 53-foot semi-trucks, clear span with ceiling heights ranging from 21 to 43 feet, heavy power capacity, approximately 2,500 amps, with flexibility to add more breakers and panels to support a manufacturing use. And lastly, fenced, rail-served outdoor storage space suitable for equipment and materials storage. All of these features are very challenging to replicate with new construction in or around this area. The requested rezoning will also enhance consistency with existing land uses rather than introduce a new or more intensive use. In short, the property is located within an established industrial corridor on Whitehorse Road, just north of I-85, housing no less than 15 industrial, logistics, and construction-related operations in close proximity. For example, Metromont Corporation, a precast concrete provider, has a substantial manufacturing facility directly across Two Notch Road from the property on a 33-acre site already zoned I-1. And a former 400,000 square foot Kohler manufacturing facility is also located on Two Notch Road across the Norfolk Southern rail line from the property. In addition, and importantly, the Norfolk Southern rail line abuts the entire northeastern side of the property, providing both rail access to the property itself and the outdoor storage space adjacent to the building on the property, and a substantial physical and vegetative buffer between the property and properties across the train tracks and further across Old Piedmont Highway. With the property currently being marketed for lease, we have received interest from a range of industrial, manufacturing, logistics, construction supply, and related uses whose business operations are compatible with the property's attributes and surrounding uses. 95% of these prospective users, 38 of 40, have indicated that their interest in the property is subject to the site being zoned I-1, which more accurately reflects its physical attributes, past and likely future functional uses, and highest and best use. Many of these companies are currently out of market and interested in expanding into Greenville County via a lease at our property. In conclusion, rezoning the property from C2 to I1 is appropriate because, 1, it would align zoning with the property's physical attributes and historic use. The requested zoning simply formalizes the reality on the ground and rectifies a long-standing zoning inconsistency. 2, it would maintain compatibility with adjacent properties. Rezoning this parcel to I1 will support continued productive use without increasing contextual impacts. Importantly, we do not anticipate that the rezoning would have any adverse impact on public services, traffic, or nearby uses. And 3, it would advance Greenville County's economic development objectives. The rezoning will facilitate infill reinvestment in an established industrial corridor, support job creation, and leverage existing rail and utility infrastructure in a location intended to function as part of the county's industrial employment base. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Councilman Pham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At first blush, you would think anything would be an improvement over that flea market. That's right there. However, I would be remiss if I did not raise some concerns that obviously constituents brought to my attention. And you basically alluded to it. Not necessarily opposed to I-1 there, because it is kind of an industrial area. It would be uniquely situated. However, when people ask me, well, what's going to go there, I have no idea, and you're looking for it. It would be a lot easier to support it if we knew exactly what was going there. But to go ahead and rezone it, and then it's something totally incompatible with the area, or that the community would be totally repulsed, then I got to live with that. So it would almost be like, if you have a good tenant that's a good fit, to slide behind the flea market, maybe. But the carte blanche just say, here you go, and tell me what you got after you've got them. I don't know. That's a heavy lift.
Yeah, I understand your concern. I think, if you put yourself in our shoes, and for what it's worth, we are relatively far down the road with several prospective tenants, and I'm happy to share more about those specific uses if that would be helpful. However, we can't get to a point where we sign a lease with a tenant who needs I-1 zoning if we can't give them assurance that we have a clear path to I-1 zoning. So I understand your point. I think it's almost a chicken or the egg type issue. And again, I'd be happy to share more detail, maybe offline separately, just given confidentiality of the specific use. It would, in essence, it would be outdoor storage, fabrication, and a small office component which already exists in the building. So very similar to the use that was there for the last 15 years, with some potential light fabrication in the interior of the building. And the property would likely house 50 to 60 people on any given day, and those 50 to 60 people would work out of this facility during normal business hours, not weekends.
We can talk offline. Because I'll give you an example. We did something like this. I mean, it's been here too long. Long time ago, and then it ended up being sandblasting, and then all the neighbors were all upset because we did it ahead of time.
Understood.
So that little memory is still fresh.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like it is almost a chicken or the egg issue because we don't I wouldn't feel comfortable signing a lease with a user who requires I-1 zoning if we, again, don't have a clear path to that designation.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have anyone else in favor of this docket? Anyone else? Seeing none, do we have any opposed to this document? If you'd come and give us your name and address for the record, sir, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Shane Howard, 2 Rutherford Street in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm one of the owners of the White Horse Flea Market, and the only thing is we've been in business for over 23 years, and we're a weekend business. So the only concern was us is, going with the I-1, it kind of opens the door to, let pretty much anything from what I've read to come in. So that was our concern. We have a lot of people on the weekends that walk, kids, families. We have a lot of vendors. So we were just, worried about, it couldn't handle 2 businesses, on the weekends. During the week, we're good. Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, that's our main deal. So I'm just going to bring that to the attention.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anyone else opposed? Anyone else?
Can I respond, or?
No.
Okay.
So seeing none, I will call this docket closed. That being the last one, correct? So we are adjourned. For the record, sir, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Shane Howard, 2 Rutherford Street in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm one of the owners of the White Horse Flea Market, and the only thing is we've been in business for over 23 years, and we're a weekend business. So the only concern was us is, going with the I-1, it kind of opens the door to, let pretty much anything from what I've read to come in. So that was our concern. We have a lot of people on the weekends that walk, kids, families. We have a lot of vendors. So we were just, worried about, it couldn't handle 2 businesses, on the weekends. During the week, we're good. Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, that's our main deal. So I'm just going to bring that to the attention.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anyone else opposed? Anyone else?
Can I respond, or?
No.
Okay.
So seeing none, I will call this docket closed. That being the last one, correct? So we are adjourned.